Hi, I'm Hopinkah Hannan, and I currently serve as an independent corporate board director. My mother was on public assistance, so there was no, you need to save, you need to do this type of thing. It was more of that being very young and being very aware that we were different on so many levels. My first job was as a lifeguard, and I just thought I made it. I remember my first paycheck. So I obviously went to the bank, cashed it, put some money in the bank, but I kept probably a little bit. And probably the thing that I did was something I couldn't do before. And that was simply go to the local McDonald's and buy a filet of fish and a Diet Coke, because we were on public assistance. We had food stamps, so we didn't have that luxury. The feeling I had when I had my first job was I have arrived. And it's just that feeling of power. Power sounds like a very strong word in this context, but it gave me the ability to make certain decisions. I knew that I would make certain decisions on what I was going to do with money that I had. It wasn't that I was waiting for somebody to give me something. It's I earned it, I owned it, and I've arrived. The whole $25 or whatever it was in my first paycheck. I had an aunt who was a widow, who was hardworking. She actually had a job. She would go to work. She bought a car. I do think it was the independent women, now putting my mother aside, my aunt, who had to do this by necessity. She was a widow, so she had to work, and she understood the importance, and she communicated that to myself and my sister. I think that there's certainly a correlation to women who have understood at a certain point, either by circumstances or other ways, the necessity to achieve some financial or economic independence. I do think there is a inextricable link between resiliency and financial and economic power. You can be resilient and tough and navigate through challenges, but without that economic piece, you're going to be even that much more limited. I worked at Zenith Corporation, and there was a woman who I worked for who ended up becoming a mentor, Barbara Manny, and she was, I think, the second highest woman in the corporation. And I was in college at that time when I met Barbara. Being in that environment in the corporate context, she blew me away. It really changed my trajectory. Now I graduated from college. I am working in a large public accounting firm, which was predominantly male. Barbara was always that little bit of a voice on my shoulder that I wanted to make her proud that I could be one of the highest women in this organization. Ultimately, I end up, becoming a vice chairman of the firm. What I am most proud of is that I was the founder of the Women's Advisory Board, so created our strategic platform for developing and advancing women. Very proud of that.